third class condition, is it real or unreal?
Unreal.
Yeah, it's unreal in the what time frame? In the past. Hey, listen, this is critical information if you want to use them correctly to create the kind of condition you want to create. So again, we're talking about conditionals. Let's take each one and go across, okay? So you have a first-class condition. In the book that we're using, it's also called a timeless conditional because the condition is real and it creates something that's true all the time, in a sense, okay? So let's look at the formula. Man, memorize this formula because it'll just, you won't make mistakes in your writing then when you're trying to create a conditional, okay? All a conditional is an if clause with a result clause, okay? So let's look at the timeless conditional. We call it the first class conditional or a real condition, okay? The if clause needs to be in the present. The verb in the if clause needs to be in the present. The result clause needs to be in the verb in the result clause should be in the present tense or the future tense. Let's look at the example from the book. And if you want to look in the book, I'm looking at page 6. And we're looking at the first example they give. If the spider is moved to a new location after she finishes the basic pattern, she will continue to spin the sides of the cocoon, lay eggs, and spin the lid. Let me ask you a question. In the if clause, where's the verb? Is. And what tense is that?
Present.
Yeah.
Present.
So there you go. So it's the if clause and it's in the present, correct? So now in the result clause, where's the verb?
Will.
We have will, continue. And what tense is that?
Future.
Future. What? Are there any other verbs?
No.
Yeah, there are.
She finished.
Moved.
What are you looking at?
Is moved.
She will continue to spin the sides of the cocoon,
Lay.
lay eggs, and spin the lid. Now this is interesting. It's actually just 3 verb phrases because they want to express 3 actions. Now listen, all of these actions, we're assuming they're connected to the will. Because the first one starts with will continue. And you don't keep saying will. You could, I guess. You could say will lay eggs and will spin the lid, but we don't. Just to simplify, we understand that all of these are talking about it in the future. Okay? So again, you'll notice that the result clause, which is in black here, all the verbs in the result clause are either present or future. In this case, they're really all acting like future verbs. Okay? Everybody with me? All right, let's jump down here real quick. A second class condition. It's also called an unreal condition. And it is the condition itself is in the present or future. The difference between the two is this one's unreal. When you compare the condition itself to reality, it's unreal. Okay? To the truth statement. So again, the pattern is in the if clause, it's in the past. Always in the past. In the result clause, you always follow this pattern. Would plus the base form of the main verb. Okay? So look over here. Here's an example. If I had $1 million, I would buy a house for my mom. Wouldn't that be nice? So in the if clause, where's the verb?
Had.
Had. What tense is had?
Past.
So you'll see in the if clause, it's in the past. Alright? In the result clause, is it following the formula?
Yep.
Yes.
You have would
And base.
plus the base form of the verb buy. Again, it's following this formula right here, okay? A lot of times in writing I see people, they often mix up the formula. They'll switch them, and they'll get in, and it sounds awkward, and it confuses the reader. All right, a third class.
Now, if it is unreal, I cannot use will, right? I will.
You talking about up here now?
Yeah, I will buy a house for my mom.
Correct. You must put would.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use, now listen, you could use a different modal. Remember these modals like could, should, depending on what you're trying to say.
Uh-huh.
So if you're trying to express ability,
Can
you
I
would say could. I could buy.
So can I use could here in this condition?
You can.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. You can switch out the past modal
Uh-huh.
for a different one, like could or should,
Okay.
depending on what you're trying to express.
Great.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good point, good question. But no, you can't use will. You can't go back to using the future form of the modal, or that base form of the modal. The third class condition. Let me jump up here real quick and ask you a question. Do I have $1 million?
You don't.
Maybe.
I don't. See, and that's why I really don't. That is why it's unreal. The truth is I don't have $1 million. So that's how we use it, okay? Now, the third class condition, this is if I want to talk about an unreal situation in the past, okay? For some reason in English, to talk about conditions in the past, notice you always use a form of the past tense, okay, for an unreal condition. I don't know why it does that, but anyway. So for this particular situation, to show an unreal situation in the past, you want to use a past perfect in the if clause, okay? In the verb form. And you want to use a formula, would plus have plus the past participle in the result clause. So look at an example. If I had known the answer, I would have never asked her to marry me.
Wow.
Hopefully that didn't happen to you. So what is the tense here? It's past perfect. You have had plus past participle of the verb. Okay? Over here, did it follow the formula? Yes. You have would plus a have plus the past participle. Okay? And that's how you do it. Let me ask you a question. Did I know that the girl was going to say no to me?
No.
I didn't. See, it's unreal. I asked her in the past. If I had known, I didn't know, man. I thought she was in love with me. But she wasn't. See, it's an unreal. When I compare it to the truth, it's an unreal situation and everything happened in the past. That's how you create it. Thanks.